Yep. Hello to everyone out there, man. Thank you very much, guys, for joining the stream. Let me know how you're feeling today in the chat. Yeah, man, listen, thank you guys very much, man. Lately, I've been doing this live stream, and I actually like doing it a lot. I really do. Really do, man. Today, we're going to talk about Charlie Sheen. He's coming out with a new book. Basically a tell-all. You read the title. You see what his book is basically exposing everything about his past, drugs, alcohol, and his sex lifestyle. Yeah, man, listen, Charlie Sheen, he been going at it for years. I remember when I was younger, dude. Like, this guy used to drink some stuff, some red stuff he used to drink in a bottle. Every time I used to see this man on TV, I used to be like, wow, this man is living the lifestyle. But that lifestyle he lived basically set him back a couple of years in his life, unfortunately, but he survived. He made it through a lot of things that a lot of other people would have passed away. He made it through, all the incredible drug parties, the alcohol abuse, the sex. Like, he made it through a lot of things that the average person would have been gone. So God kept him around for a reason, and he's releasing his new book. And I encourage you guys to go out. If you're a Charlie Sheen fan, go out and get the book, and you're gonna just, I guess, be your own judge of what really Charlie Sheen life was about up to this point right now. He's in his 60s, I think, and yeah, we're gonna look at Charlie's lifestyle from back then, and we're gonna look at his lifestyle today. So let's get right into the Charlie Sheen past life, and then we catch up to his new life. He's a madman. That's what he is. Seriously.
Hi, good morning, Meredith. Once again to you. This was a candid conversation, as Matt mentioned. Charlie Sheen did not hold back at all, opening up about his drug use, his kids, violence, depression, and also his new war with CBS network executives who he claims are trying to destroy his family. The first question America wants to know, are you clean right now?
Look at me, duh. Drug tests don't lie.
When was the last time you did drugs?
Don't remember, don't care. Drug tests don't lie. Scoreboard doesn't lie.
You say you've cured yourself.
He said, look at me. Drug test does not lie. So I guess I'm assuming that before the interview, he took a drug test. The reporter asked him, when was the last time you did drugs? I don't remember. I don't care. That's funny. That is tight hilarious, dude. Listen, Charlie Sheen is a wild man, dude. Wild man, dude. We're going to keep watching his interview, dude, because I want to watch it at the same time I talk, because this dude is wild, dude.
Yes.
Of addiction. You don't get Alcoholics Anonymous. How have you done that?
I closed my eyes and made it so. With the power of my mind. I had to unload 22 years of fiction, and just decided that I don't believe that anymore, and I know my own truth, and that's what I stand on right now.
What kind of fiction?
The fiction of AA. It's a silly book written by a broken down fool. He was a plagiarist. They think it's a one-size-fits-all, but it didn't fit me, and I just got tired of subscribing to something with a 5% success rate. As a retired gambler, I need better odds than that,
Did you turn to alcohol and other substances because you were bored?
No, I did that because they work.
The reporter is trying to be super serious, though. Like, that reporter is acting like it's just all about the interview. Charlie Sheen is trying to loosen things up, as you can tell in this interview. The reporter is super serious, asking him direct questions, and Charlie Sheen's answers are hilarious, dude. He's hilarious, bro. When coming to his party lifestyle, this man don't care. At this point in his life, he was partying hard. He was really partying.
Just change the way you see things, change the way you feel. And yeah, when you're a little bit bored with the redundancy of certain aspects of your life, I think that's why people do them.
Did you feel out of control a month or two ago? Do you feel more in control now?
Well, of course, yeah, but I don't know if I'd call it out of control. Just the choices I was making were not leading to the results that I wanted. So I woke up and said, dude, you're 45 with 5 kids. Let's do something different because this thing is boring. I got bored is what happened, yeah.
You've been to rehab before. This time you did in-home rehab. First of all, what is that? And why did it work, you think, this time for you?
Well, we couldn't really call it rehab because we didn't have a license to operate one, so it was a crisis.
The only people will ever say they go to rehab in home, in their own personal home rehab, is people with money. Just like when I found out that Pablo Escobar, he built a jail. He built a house that he told the government he was going to lock himself up in that house for a couple of years. The only type of people could get away with stuff like that is only if you have money. It is never going to work. It's not possible for that to work. For you to literally stay in your home and think that you're going to withdraw from abusing drugs or abusing alcohol. It's no way. In your own personal home where you have all the control to do whatever you please, it's not going to work. But this guy seems to think that he worked. A couple of weeks later, he was right back to partying.
Management center that we labeled the Silver Valley Lodge.
You labeled your house the Silver Valley Lodge.
Well, yeah, that's what it became.
So what happened?
And we wouldn't allow AA to be a part of it. We wouldn't allow AA to contaminate Silver Valley Lodge, and as a result, its primary client achieved radical success.
But even if Charlie Sheen is clean, damage has been done. Damage at the Plaza Hotel in New York City, when in October he allegedly went on a drunken rampage against a porn star inside his room. His kids were right down the hall. And the conviction for assault in Colorado in 2009. Police say he held a knife to the throat of his now estranged wife, Brooke Mueller. The judge ordered Sheen to rehab. People have said you're a violent person toward women. What do you say to that?
They don't know me. Then the same people talking about those incidents weren't there, so how much can they really discuss a situation they were not involved with? You know, at that point it's all just judgment and opinion and just the gibberish of fools.
You told me you want to rededicate yourself now to your kids, to being a dad.
Sure.
Are you embarrassed that your children will read about this one day?
God, no. It's talk about an education. And this, and then that's the guy, and he's our dad, and we can...
He said, embarrassed. Talk about an education for your own kids. This man went through this. This is my dad. He thinks his kids are going to hold him as a hero. My dad is a hero. Incredible, dude. My dad had got arrested for allegedly holding a knife to my mother's throat. My dad had got arrested for allegedly assaulting a porn star in a hotel room. He thinks those things are incredible. My kids are going to think that I'm a hero. Listen, the old Charlie Sheen was a funny dude, man. And listen, once again, as I started this video and I said, man, the things that this guy went through in his life, at that point in his life, this guy was 45 when he did this interview. 40, now he's in his 60s. This guy was abusing alcohol, abusing drugs, abusing everything that he can. And he made it to 60 something. But you could look at his appearance right there. That's how drugs and alcohol ages people. He looked way older than 45 years old sitting on that interview. You know, so for those people out there, man, who will watch this, don't do drugs, guys. Don't abuse alcohol, because this is Charlie Sheen is one of those lucky people that actually God loves him, and God wanted him to keep. God wanted to use his story to teach people what not to do in life. You know, and he's around, and now he's he said that he's clean and sober. He's been clean and sober for a couple of years. So let's see what happens to Charlie Sheen. Let's just keep watching his past life.
Get all the answers and the truth. Wow, winning is how you perceive it.
Now listen to me. Until last month, Sheen was winning as the highest paid actor in TV.
Are you insane?
Making nearly $2 million an episode on the hit sitcom 2.5 Men. CBS halted production, demanding Charlie clean up his act. That's when Sheen went on a rampage on the radio.
You sound like Thomas Jefferson.
Well, I'm not Thomas Jefferson. He was a no, but I dare anyone to debate me on things. Debate me on AA right now. I have a disease, and I cured it with my brain, with my mind. I'm cured. I'm done.
You've called into a lot of radio shows in the past couple of months, and we've all heard the tapes by now.
Yes. Pretty passionate
Yeah,
stuff.
some would say angry. Some would say spiraling. Oh,
Passionate. I think my passion is misinterpreted as anger sometimes, and I don't think people are ready for the message that I'm delivering, and delivering with a sense of violent love.
but it soon turned to hatred aimed directly at the show's co-creator, Chuck Lorre.
It's nothing inside of deplorable that a certain Chaim Levine, yeah, that's Chuck's real name, mistook this rock star for his own selfish exit strategy, bro. Last I checked, Chaim, I've spent, I think, close to the last decade, I don't know, effortlessly and magically converting your tin cans into pure gold. Well, you've been warned, dude. Bring it.
Well, you've been called an anti-Semite.
I know, it's ridiculous. Yeah, there's
Are
Mark
you?
Bird, my manager, Jeff Russell, my interviewer. I mean, no, I've never had that in my past. You can look as deep and as far as you want. It's just not there because I'm not that guy. No, that's silliness.
CBS didn't see the humor and canceled the entire rest of the season. You've told me you're at war with them now.
Well, we're definitely at war. Yeah. What's the war? Well, the war is that they're trying to destroy my family, and so I take great umbrage.
Mind you, this guy was making $2 million for a 30 minutes episode. Every time this man episode aired on TV was only for 30 minutes. So to shoot a 30-minute episode probably takes probably a couple of hours. Probably, I don't know how that works, but I'm just assuming to shoot a 30-minute TV show can't take more than 3-4 days. So you're working for 3-4 days, probably 5-6 hours per day to make $2 million at the end of that episode, that first episode being wrapped up, on to the next episode. And he's shooting 12 to 16 episodes per season. So you do the math. This man was making millions of dollars in a span of months. In a span of months, he was making millions of dollars, dude. And he just gave all that up because his refusal to stop getting high, to stop drinking, to stop partying. He refused to give up that lifestyle. He rather lose a $2 million payday for every episode that airs on TV. I don't get, bro, but that's drugs though. Drugs make you do crazy stuff, though. Drugs make your brain switch from reality to just craziness. You know, drugs and alcohol together, it makes your brain switch off from reality. Because a drug and an alcohol mind, it's not in a reality state of mind. It's not thinking about the way a normal person will think. Because there is no way, dude, if you're a normal thinking person, you will pass up the opportunity to keep making $2 million for a 30-minute episode, 30-minute show. It's no way. But this man, at the time of that incident, he was already rich. You know, this man came from a background, his whole family, his father, brother, they're all big movie stars, and he came up with money. He came up with, you know, having things basically he need from his family, getting everything that he need, but he end up owning his own paycheck. He end up doing everything on his own to become his own superstar. So at that point, he had money. He didn't really care. He just rather continue being drugged up and drunk and all of that stuff. He just rather keep doing that and just forget about the $2 million. I'm gonna keep partying, but at the end of the day, man, that shit. I'm pretty sure he ruined a lot of things for himself. You know, from 40s to where he's at now. From since this been canceled, I have not seen Charlie Sheen on any TV shows or any movies or nothing, because after this incident, a couple of months later, he was back partying crazy, and then he came up with a crazy announcement that, you know, that we're going to keep watching, so you'll see.
With that. And defeat is not an option. They picked a fight with a warlock.
How are they trying to destroy your family?
They're trying to take all my money and leave me with no means to support my family. It's not rocket science, you know.
How do you plan on winning that war?
With zeal and focus and violent hatred. You either love or you hate. You live in the middle. You get nothing.
Didn't CBS have a right to shut your show down? They're reading about you partying at all hours of the night, taking drugs, abusing alcohol. It's their show.
Epic behavior. No, because after reading about that,
he said it was epic behavior. They're reading about a man that's enjoying his life. They're reading about a man that's just enjoying every moment of his life, and they're mad at a man enjoying his life. This guy is crazy, bro. Dude, you're making $2 million. I would stop the partying. Party once a month. But at that point, he was so drugged out his mind, so much alcohol consumption. He was just out of his mind at that point in his life, dude. At 45 years old, he was out of his mind, dude.
Then they observed the guy hitting every mark, nailing every line, every joke.
Good strategy.
With a full house, screaming.
Ever miss a day of work?
Not a day that cost anybody any money. I missed practice. We're talking about practice. To quote the great Allen Iverson. Practice. Come on, guys. We're talking about practice.
Charlie Sheen and Chuck Lorre haven't spoken since the shutdown, but in our interview, Sheen wanted to address Chuck directly. If Chuck Lorre is watching right now, I imagine he probably is.
He should be.
What do you want to say to him?
It's funny you ask. I actually have my questions right here. Because Chuck is the only man in the known universe who can answer these. And people are begging for an answer to these questions. Chuck, number one, why is it when I was ready to return to work, you told me there are no scripts ready to shoot? This obviously begs the second part of the question. What would we have shot had you not ordered the suits into my home to shut down my party?
So you're saying he didn't write any scripts to even shoot a show?
I can't speak for him. I'm just putting these out there because I think they warrant an explanation. Clearly, he didn't bring gum for everyone. Okay, number two, and why is it you issued a decree informing me that the remaining 8 shows of season 8 had been reduced down to 4? I don't recall getting a vote on this, by the way. Stating as well that season 8, our highest rated season to date, most shows are in decline by then and headed toward Will and Graceville, was suddenly to halt production 2 weeks earlier than scheduled. You're the only man that can answer this.
And Charlie is just angry because he's like, listen, bro, the show is very successful. I'm always on set to record the show. Even if I miss rehearsal, I'm there to record the actual show. I'm nailing every scene. So Charlie Sheen is just like, listen, just loosen up. Let me be myself. But the thing about this is, the producers of the show at that time, at this point right here, knew that this man had a very, very serious drug and alcohol problem. So there was just more concern about this man's well-being showing up, and God forbid something happened while he's in the building, while he was recording the show. They're just concerned about what could happen. But in this man Charlie Sheen's mind, he's like, bro, don't worry about anything. I'm coming to record the show. Don't matter if I'm partying every day. Just let me be. Let me live my life. But it doesn't work like that, because it's a lot of politics involved in all of those type of things. I'm pretty sure it's a lot of politics. So like, if this man get hurt on the set, he could sue the production company. Like, so there's a lot of things that the production companies have to take into consideration. Like knowing somebody's abusing drugs and alcohol and then coming on the set to record and to work, they're just thinking as a company, like, listen, God forbid something happen when this guy's here. Now we are going to be held liable because we knew what was going on. It's a difference. It's a big difference if Charlie Sheen at that point in his life, he was like hiding everything. It would have been a big difference if he was not, he wasn't so upfront about his lifestyle. He wasn't hiding nothing. Everything was played out in front of the media. All his parties, his drug rages days, all of those things was played out in front of the media. So he was nothing like the production company who he was working with for that specific TV show. There was in the hiding. No, they knew about everything. Nothing was like on the bottom of the table. So if you're a company knowing that, okay, listen, somebody I'm working with, it's like a huge, it's a huge liability, because we don't know when this guy could come into work and then just overdose or just something bad happening. Now we are held liable. So that's the reason why they wanted to clean himself up. It was not about, listen, the show was doing great. At that point, Charlie Sheen's show was the highest rated show on network TV. People was watching this guy. Don't matter, he was going crazy, but the craziness make people more interested in watching him. All the things that he was doing off camera when he was not working, recording, all the parties and everything made people way more interested in who Charlie Sheen really is. So that really made people interested in watching the TV show. So no matter all the craziness, it actually brought in people to watch him. He did all his craziness and wild things he was doing. He really built a following. Because people love watching crazy stuff, that I'm telling you. People, human beings, love watching a train wreck. For some reason, dude, people are addicted to watching other people ruin their lives. And they'll make comment like, "Oh my God, why don't you stop? Why don't you get help?" But they cannot stop watching the train. They cannot stop watching a train wreck. They're gonna continue to watch someone spiral out of control for days and weeks and months and years. They're just gonna keep watching and watching until something bad happens. Yes, at the point. So he's correct. In this interview, he's 100% correct. The show was doing better than any other TV show on any network. His show had the highest rating at that time. So his whole thing is like, just let me be. The show is making money. We are all making money. Just let me live my life. But the production company was not hearing that nonsense.
Gotta remind these people. Number 3. When you were told that the crew would suffer gravely as a result of your dictatorial laziness, would you please explain what you meant by your statement, quote, "They are not my problem," end quote? I'm sure there's like 120 some odd people that would love to hear the answer to that.
Then Sheen pulled out the Alcoholics Anonymous handbook and took another swipe at Lori and AA.
Right out of here, Chuck. So if this is, in fact, your handbook for living, I direct your attention to page 417. You know what's coming. And acceptance is the answer to all my problems today. When I am disturbed, it is because I find some person, place, thing, or situation, some fact of my life unacceptable to me. And I can find no serenity until I accept that person, place, thing, or situation as being exactly the way it is supposed to be at this moment. Accept me, Chuck.
Charlie Sheen seems confident he'll stay sober without the written guidelines of AA, but it's never come easy, not for him. A lot of your fans have been worried about you, worried about your health.
Worry all they want, but
are you going to OD? Are you going to die?
That's for amateurs. Come on, no, I'm fine. I've always had a plan. I've always executed it perfectly. Sometimes I overshoot the mark, whatever.
How do you avoid slipping back into that again?
I don't know, I just won't do it. I mean, I will not believe that if I do something, then I have to follow a certain path because it was written. And it was written for normal people. People that aren't special. People that don't have tiger blood, Adonis DNA.
Strong people have relapsed. Strong people have started using again. How do you avoid that?
Fools. Trolls. Weak. Defeated.
Weak. People who relapse are weak. They're straight weak-minded people. At this point in Charlie Sheen's life, after everything he said in this interview, he relapsed. So I guess he's calling himself weak. After this interview, he relapsed and went right back into partying. This man is unbelievable, dude.
They allowed defeat to be an option. I will not. I'm not saying I'll never have a glass of champagne again or a glass of wine because those are, things that you celebrate with. I have no interest in cocaine.
What's next for you? How do you convince a producer of a movie, of a TV show in this town to take you back on their set after basically being let go from the sitcom on CBS?
Well, I mean, first of all, come Wednesday morning, they're going to rename it Charlie Brothers and not Warner Brothers. Duh. Winning. And it's not convincing anybody. It's like, guys, IMDb right there, 62 movies, and a ton of success. I mean, come on, bro. I won Best Picture at 20. Wasn't even trying. Wasn't even warm. I've got Roman Coppola with a brilliant script. I've got David Ward with Major League 3. I've got Nick Cassavetes with God is a Bullet. I mean, it's like the list goes on.
You have offers?
Well, yeah, and they're like so excited that I might be available because I haven't been for 8 years.
Do you want to keep doing TV or do you want to switch over to movies almost exclusively?
I will do both. I'll do both. Like I said, I'm a man of my word. So I will finish the TV show. I'll even do season 10, but it's at this point because of psychological distress. Oh my God, it's $3 million an episode. Take it or leave it. It's like everybody thinks I should be like begging for my job back, and I'm just going to forewarn them that it's everybody else that's going to be begging me for their job back. That's how I roll. Period. The end. Defeat is not an option.
Do you owe CBS an apology?
No. They owe me a big one. Publicly. While licking my feet. And people think I'm insane or they don't think that what I'm saying is true, then I have no interest in...
Bro, let me remind you, this man at that moment in his life right there, this interview, he was getting $2 million per an episode, 30-minute episode. And he's saying that the CBS, the network, the executive's supposed to lick the bottom of his foot and apologize to him. This is insane. $2 million. Dude, you know how many people in this world that don't make $2 million in 12 months or so, 24 months, 30 in years? And this gentleman was making that for a 30-minute episode TV show, which it takes less than a week, less than 7 days to record a 30 minute episode for a TV. That's what you call a man with big balls. He don't care, but he lost, though. He lost a lot. You know, Charlie Sheen at that point in his life, dude, he lost a lot, dude. He didn't really care that much, but he ended up losing a whole lot of things. A whole lot of things, you know, went left for him at that point, man. And he claimed in this interview that he had a lot of offers after the TV show, but in reality, he had no offers, you know, because he went back into the partying lifestyle, and, you know, and nobody really wanted to deal with Charlie Sheen. Nobody wanted to give him a job. Nobody, you know what I mean? Like, and he's very talented. That's what he was saying to the reporter, that, listen, bro, he won an Academy, he won an award at 20 years old for best actor, best picture, some shit like that. You know, at the time of all of this stuff, I was mad young when he, you know, so, but he just said it, like, he won an award at 20 years old, and like, he's very accomplished. So he knows his worth, but at the same time, dude, you could know your worth and, you know, you're just destroying your entire life. You know what I mean? Like, You know your worth. You know, yes, you deserve to have this and deserve to have that. But if you're going about life, dude, like just wrecking yourself and just, you know what I mean? Like it's just not it doesn't matter, dude. It doesn't matter what you think that you're worth. It doesn't matter what you think you're actually worth, man. If you can't, you can't really show people that you could, actually stay sober for a little while and take things, and you know what I mean? Like people don't want to deal with the whole drug stuff, like for real. People don't want to constantly deal with the nonsense. You constantly being drugged up, you constantly being high. Some people don't want this around them. You know what I mean? This clip right I'm about to show you, this is actually Charlie Sheen in a fast food place. And people is gonna call him, people who notice him.
She's a big fan.
What's your name?
Jaden.
Yeah, I'm Charlie.
Nice to meet you.
Sorry, I'm so fucking
No, you're cool, man.
Hi, sweetie, how are you? What's your name? Tamara.
He's apologizing for being high.
Hi. Awesome.
You're rad, man.
You guys are in a fight.
No, we're not fighting. What's up with that tattoo? Listen to the tattoo.
Which one?
That one, I mean. Hell yeah.
Why not?
You're crushing.
Go Reds.
Reds, yeah. Real thing.
You're hilarious.
All right, man. Thank you.
Right on. Cool. It's Gary.
Gary, what's up, man? What's going on?
Let's go. No, we're fine. We're fine.
That clip you just seen with Charlie Sheen, dude, he was
He's a big
wasted out his mind, dude, like literally wasted. And somebody sent him going into a fast food restaurant,
How are you? What's your name?
but
Tamara. Hi.
Charlie Sheen, man,
You're rad, man.
You guys are in a fight.
No, we're not fighting. What's up with that tattoo? Listen to the tattoo.
Which one?
That one, I mean.
When too much work bogs you down, a sauna helps you handle it.
Why not?
You're crushing.
Go Reds.
Reds, yeah. Real thing.
You're hilarious.
All right, man. Thank you.
Right on. Cool. It's Gary.
Gary, what's up, man? What's going on?
what's this?
No, we're fine. We're fine.
He said, stop holding his hand.
Amina. She's a big fan.
I'm trying to get Charlie Sheen his new lifestyle. He just did an interview because he's releasing a book. So that's what I'm actually looking for right now. Yeah, there it is right here. So let's get to the brand new 60-something-year-old Charlie Sheen. That's what we're going to look at now. We just looked at the past Charlie Sheen in his 40s, going hard, partying, enjoying life, and thank God he made it to 60 something. So let's watch the Charlie Sheen at 60 something, which drugs ages people, dude. You see Charlie Sheen right now in his 60s and you'll be like, what? Because when I first seen the new interview, because he's releasing a book, and I looked at him like, damn, this dude is 60 something years old, but he looks like he's aged out from all the drugs and alcohol he abused for so many years of his life. His face looked aged out, dude, and he has money, so plastic surgery and all of that stuff, but still it doesn't cover the abuse that he did to his body over, dude, years and years, dude. This man said that he was partying for over 30 plus years. That's a long time to be partying, abusing drugs, abusing alcohol. Like, this man has stories that he said that the cartel, after a while, the cartel got scared to deal with him because they thought that he was working for the federal government because he was spending so much money. So his abuse of drugs is crazy, dude. for 30 plus years abusing drugs, and he had money, so he was using heavy. And he's still alive to talk about this today. God bless Charlie Sheen, man, because God wanted you around, man. You know, God wanted him around to basically spread his story. So yeah, let's take a look at Charlie Sheen at 60 something years old. We looked at him when he was in his 40s, early 40s. Let's look at him now in his 60s.
Magic.
Okay. Charlie Sheen, take what?
So there's no escaping. We're going to get every reaction,
Clearly.
every emotion.
I think
No pressure.
You deserve at least one more camera. I mean, come on.
I'm good.
You want me to call your
Good.
boss?
Yeah, could you?
Yeah.
That'd be great.
I'll be just fine.
It's that cheeky nature that endeared him to millions around the world for decades. But he's not here as Charlie Sheen the actor. Today, he's an author with one hell of a tale to tell. A true story of fame, fortune, debauchery, and ultimately, he hopes, redemption.
Why did you decide to have this conversation, to write the book, to share your deep, dark, and dirty secrets with the world?
It's not so much the why, it's more about that I had gotten to a place where I had enough perspective to deliver it in a way that was very personal, was hopefully somewhat entertaining. Were you entertained when you read it?
Absolutely.
Right, good. Okay, check that box. But also to tell those stories in a way that they've never been told.
So telling your own story as opposed to how it was told.
Exactly.
Through the
yeah,
tabloids.
through the pens and through the lenses of others, you know.
Yeah.
Charlie's been tabloid fodder his whole life.
And not for nothing, man. This man,
Create
like,
assets that fit in with your entire campaign.
his entire life, he been basically photographed. Because once again, his father is a well-known actor as well. His whole family, his brother, you know, so he came up in that lifestyle. You know, so he's well documented. That's his father right there. You know, so Charlie Sheen is well documented to be in the spotlight for years. But as you can tell, dude, from when we first look at him, this is him right here at 9 years old in his first role. You know, with his father. You know, but you look at Charlie Sheen right now. I think right here, this is brand new. This is just recorded. I think he's 60, 61 or 60. He's in his 60s. But look at his face, dude. You could just tell how the drugs and alcohol that he abused for all those years, it aged him. And this is his brother. He has also a famous brother as well, you know. So stay away from drugs, guys. Stay away from drugs, man, as much as you can. Don't do it. It's not worth it, man. All the partying and all of that stuff, it catches up eventually, dude. And drugs ages you. Literally. Every form of drug ages you, dude, because it kills you inside. It kills your organs. Don't ever let people tell you drugs destroy inside of your body. All your organs, from your heart, your kidneys, your lungs, your livers, drugs destroy your organs. And when your organs are being destroyed, it ages you. Charlie Sheen does not look like he's in his 60s. And he's paid. His whole family's paid. You know, like, don't stay away from drugs, guys. Stay away from abusing alcohol too. Alcohol will definitely leave a lot of damage on your body as well.
Drugs.
Why are you here?
Drugs.
And starred opposite Michael Douglas and Martin Sheen in Wall Street.
Be proud to have a son like Buddy. Got a hell of a career in front of him, huh?
By the late 80s, Charlie Sheen was a huge star in his own right.
What did that do to your head and your ego?
I don't really feel like I was a guy that led with ego. I was a guy that put on a facade that perhaps there was more ego there than there really was, you know. And suddenly the stakes get elevated with each opportunity. There's a thing about am I really ready for this? Shouldn't they have checked me out? Shouldn't they have looked under the hood a little longer, or a little more thoroughly before just trusting me?
Were you ready?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Billy, go in there and cut the son of a bitch in half.
While he kept it together on screen, off camera, Charlie had started drinking heavily and abusing drugs, spiralling into an addiction that would dominate the next 3 decades of his life.
In behind the scenes, you were partying hard.
Yes.
How hard?
Is there like a scale?
Yeah.
What's the scale? Are we at?
Over 3 decades. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls out there, a decade is 10 years. So as I said earlier, over 30 years, this man was partying super duper hard, abusing drugs, abusing alcohol. And one of the reasons that actually he released that book, and there's a lot of things inside of that book that certain people knew about him, but certain people knew something about him, but a lot of people didn't know certain things about him. People speculated over the years because he had mentioned a couple of years back, he had did an interview where he had came out and announced to the nation and to the world that he had caught a serious uncurable disease from his partying lifestyle. So when he made that announcement, a lot of people kind of assumed that he was partying with both genders. But it never came out to make big headlines. It was just certain people was mentioning it, that after he came out and announced that he had a serious, he had caught a serious disease, a disease that there is no cure for the disease. He made that announcement, and everybody, majority of people who knew him, knew that he was basically partying and having drug-fueled parties and alcohol-fueled parties with both genders, with men and women. But a lot of people just stopped mentioning that part of his life because he had cleaned up himself, and after he made that announcement, his lifestyle got better, because that was something seriously that I don't think he ever assumed that his reckless behavior would have got him to actually catch something that his money can get him out of. I don't think, because when people is drugged up and under crazy thoughts with the drugs in their body and the alcohol in their body, they don't really think clear. So at this point in his life, when he was just partying, going crazy, he wasn't thinking clear, because I'm pretty sure he knew that he had money, his father had money, his brother, he had money that he couldn't spend. So there is nothing he was thinking at the time that he couldn't buy himself out of. But when he had caught that uncurable disease, that's when I think everything in his life came to perspective. Like, yo, bro, I actually caught something that's going to be inside of my body forever. And no matter how much money that me and my family have, there's nothing I could do about it. But people back then was speculating. Like, he was going with guys and he was going with girls. So there was a lot of speculation from all the sex and stuff he was having with guys. That could be a big possibility how he caught that infection, how he caught that disease. But nobody ever really kept up with the story to truly get an answer from him. Nobody really asked him those questions, and he never really brought it up. So now he wrote this book, and everything, all the details about his past sexual experience with men is in the book, and he's saying basically the reason why he decided to come clean, because he was under pressure. People was trying to extort him, because the people who knew about his past gay experience with men, his past being with men, there's people in his circle that knew that about him, and there's people in his circle that always assumed that that's how he caught the disease. But nobody ever asked him straight up, were you ever been with this gender? No, it was something that was in the bottom of the table for years. So now he wrote the book, and he put it in the book. He put all of those things in the book, because he's like, people who knew about that was basically doing the best to extort him. So he had to come out and say the honest truth, because he was not willing to pay anybody no type of money to keep his secret. He did all of those things. He claimed, allegedly, he did all of those things when he was on drugs, when he was drunk out his mind. But it's life, and he's just fessing up to his past life. Let's keep listening to this interview.
Out of 10?
Let's call it 100.
100, okay. Yeah, no, I would take it where I felt it needed to go, and dare others to follow me there, I wanted to really enjoy the success, on my terms, and still try to navigate and manage the responsibilities of the job,
That became harder and harder as the trappings of fame and fortune led him down a dark path.
Charlie Sheen was among the clients of her $1,500 hookers.
I've never hired a woman, but I would just think it's like a blind date, really.
Charlie developed an expensive obsession with prostitutes.
She claims actor Charlie Sheen wanted prostitutes dressed as cheerleaders. He testified he spent more than $50,000 in 3 years soliciting prostitutes from flights. Was he a good client, Charlie Sheen?
And his drug and alcohol problems were raging out of control, leading to a near-fatal overdose in 1998.
He was admitted to Los Robles Regional Medical Center at 5:30 in the morning, accompanied by his father.
We are in the stages right now of recovery.
His behaviour saw him shunned by film studios, his reputation in tatters. But any reflection and remorse is tempered by humour.
Is it true that at the height of your addiction...
Sorry.
Oh, go for it. What is that? You know
Acid.
my ass?
No, it's a breath mint.
Even the reporter laughed, even the girl laughed. He said acid. You see how he said it mad fast? She couldn't help but laugh. He said it so fast. What she said, what is that? He said acid. He's still thinking about drugs, because I'm telling you, he did drugs for so many years. And to me, that is funny. But in his mind, he thinks about this type of things all the time, because I'm pretty sure he did all of those type of drugs. Like, I'm going to use allegedly. But for him to come up with acid and say acid that fast when she asks him what's in the bottle, there's something that it's like, it triggers his mind. So he always have a response immediately. And it's a drug response. It's funny to me, but I hope and pray for the best for Charlie Sheen. I hope he never go back. And, back in when he was in his 40s, he claimed the people that go back to drugs after they get off, they're weak, they're soft, they're stupid. But guess what? He went back to drugs. So I guess he's weak, so I hope he became stronger throughout the years. And I hope and wish everything goes good for him, dude. He's a funny dude. He's very talented. He's a grown man. Like, bro, I hope and wish him the best, dude.
Oh.
Breath sauce, okay. Breath juice. And I peel off the wrapper, because you can't see when it's running out. And if you're in like a moment where you really need better smelling breath, and you go to hit this thing and it's empty.
Did you feel like you were in that moment then?
Well, yeah, we've only known each other for like 14 minutes.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're only about 4.5 feet away.
Oh, I appreciate it. Very thoughtful.
Yes, indeed.
If you don't understand the rules of power, you will certainly lose to someone who does.
Charlie's easy charm helped land him a second chance in Hollywood and launched him onto the small screen in the year 2000. First, in the hit sitcom Spin City.
You gave me a chance when no one else would. I wanted to show you didn't make a mistake.
Then, a couple of years later, with the defining role of his career, playing Charlie Harper in 2.5 Men.
Hey, everybody stop!
The show was a runaway success, raking in tens of millions of viewers and earning Sheen more than $2 million an episode. He should have been at the peak of his power, but behind the scenes, his personal life was a mess.
Yeah. If only there was a magical liquid that could erase bad memories.
And once again, his reliance on drugs and booze was taking its toll. By 2011, television executives had had enough and sensationally fired their leading man.
You were the highest paid actor on television. What happened?
It was just, it was an imperfect storm of, well, way too much stuff going on behind the scenes in my personal life, and I had back-to-back failed marriages, and then in the middle of all that, still trying to, you know, be front and center for the children, you know. I went through 2 divorces and had 4 children in an 8-year run on that show.
You regret how it ended?
I regret how it ended.
That's amazing. You guys think about that. In 8 years, this man had 2 marriages that ended in divorce. In 8 years, 2 marriages that ended in divorce with 4 kids at the end of the marriage, at the end of both marriages. That's like living very fast. But, you know, that's like fast living, though. 8 years, 4 kids, 2 different women, fast life. But that's what drugs will do, bro. Drugs and alcohol will speed up your lifestyle. It'll make everything faster, way faster than it's supposed to be. Because all you're thinking about every single day, waking up to drugs, going to sleep to drugs, like all day. A drug addict and an alcoholic, that's all they do, all they think about all the time. You know, no matter if they're out doing other things, constantly on their mind is drugs and alcohol. It's insane, dude. That's why, listen, Charlie Sheen, for him to be around right now in his 60s, man, God bless him. God wanted you to be around to share your story, bro, because your story could possibly help a lot of other people that's possibly right now dealing with drug abuse, alcohol abuse, and hopefully your story could help them, you know, get away from that life. You just never know, man. God kept you around for a reason. Every single thing that happened in our lives, man, it's a reason it happens. And Charlie Sheen is around. It's a reason. You know, it's a reason he's still around. And I hope and wish him all the success. I hope the book, you know, sells out every place, you know. So I hope everything goes good for Charlie Sheen, dude.
Yeah.
Out of a job, Charlie Sheen was out of control. But unbelievably, the worst was yet to come.
Because they're not winning.
After the break, what life was like off the rails.
That's like a train crash coming off a bridge, like hit by a tsunami falling into a volcano, right? Yeah.
It's still hard to watch Charlie Sheen in full meltdown.
I am on a drug. It's called Charlie Sheen.
Winner.com. Winner chicken dinner. I don't think so. Winner Sheen dinner.
Wait, why are you using Monday.com? It's not for developers. Oh, this is Monday Dev. So.
In 2011, at the height of his fame, the Hollywood bad boy was drunk and drugged to the eyeballs.
Do you recognize that guy now?
Well, there's a lot of that guy. Which one in particular? You talking about like the that guy, or just that guy?
That guy.
That guy. I recognize it because I have to acknowledge and own it. But I don't relate to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Jaden.
Yeah, I'm Charlie.
Nice to meet you.
Sorry, I'm so getting
No,
here.
you're cool, man.
Hi, sweetie. How are you?
What was it like being inside your head? Because, from the outside, and I'm sure I'm not the first person to tell you, it was like watching a train crash.
Right.
What was that like for you?
But that's like a train crash coming off a bridge, like hit by a tsunami, falling into a volcano, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, on fire.
Let's not just make it like just your run-of-the-mill train crash.
It was a Charlie Sheen train crash.
Yeah. I can't really speak to what it was like inside my head because I was kind of outside my head.
Now 60, clean and sober for 8 years, Charlie is finally ready to tell all in a new memoir, The Book of Sheen. For the first time, in his own words, he reveals the sordid and confronting details of his drug use, at one point so extreme, the Mexican cartel refused to sell him cocaine.
The cartel cut you off?
They did. They had never seen someone acquiring those.
I never in my life ever heard the drug dealer cut somebody off from spending money. That has to be extreme. Because drug dealers don't have no heart. A majority of drug dealers, they don't have heart. They just want the money. They'll give you the poison to get the money. And for the cartel who this man was dealing with, because he was buying heavy stuff, a lot of things, to tell him like, listen, bro, we don't want to deal with you no more. It has to be out of straight caution because they possibly think that he's going to set them up. That's why. Other than that, a drug, especially the cartel, they want money, bro. They in business for money. For them to tell this guy, we don't want your business, that's crazy.
That kind of weight, and so the only other people that they were delivering that kind of weight to were dealers, and they thought I was dealing on the side.
Is it true that you were smoking like 7-gram rocks of crack cocaine?
Well, we never took one out of the pipe and put it on a scale. However, yeah, that was the amount that was cooked to get it into that form, and I remember at one point the Jaws moment. We're gonna need a bigger pipe. It's kind of funny, no?
It is funny, but it's also deeply you're lucky to be alive.
I know. I get all that.
I am not going to let a bunch of itchy spots stand between us.
Like his appetite for drugs, his addiction to sex is well documented.
That was incredible.
But just when you thought you'd heard it all, Sheen divulges unexpected new details of that wild time in his life.
So you're in this drug-fueled state and you write about, you're having sex with lots of women, and then you say you flip the menu.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Well, there's a lot of stuff on the other side that I never looked at, and I was like, well, hold on now. And I'm like, well, sure. Why that?
He flips the menu because he was just curious. He'd been with so many women. He started because he was so drugged out his mind. He just felt like he's been with so many women, so now he should try to be with a man. But that's a drug mind. He was just drugged out when he's making those type of decisions. This type of fantasies, this type of things comes in his head, but he's not in his regular sober mindset. He's on drugs, he's on alcohol, he's just out of his mind, and he's making those rational decisions. Like I haven't been with a man. I've been with several women, hundreds of women. Now, you know what? Let me flip the script and start being with only men. It's insane. This guy, dude, he has a crazy life, bro.
Hell no.
Yeah, mean, it's a deeply personal question, but, you know,
No, it's
you're
fine.
talking about having sex with men.
Sure. Yeah.
Why did you want to share that?
I just wanted to feel what it would be like to just expose that. Not expose that, but share that. And it's fine. But it was also to take the bullets out of some guns that have still been pointed in my direction, you know, and just like say, you no longer have any control over me with you know, your extortion demands and stuff like that. Because
So there were people from your past who are still holding that over you.
yeah, and so that was a part. That's not what led the charge. That's more of an off-label benefit to making that decision.
There's relief in unburdening himself of a secret that's hung over him for many years. But the reality is the consequences of that lifestyle were life-changing, as he shared with the world in 2015.
I'm here to admit that I am in fact HIV positive. It's a hard 3 letters to absorb.
It was a difficult time, made worse by the sexual partners who'd been threatening him.
So you were being blackmailed by former sexual partners?
Correct, yeah.
We're talking millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars?
I mean, yeah, it was up there. It was 7-figure stuff.
Wow.
I'm not saying that.
So that's one of the reasons that he had to actually put that out there. Because if you are willing for people to hold a secret for you and people know that you're a millionaire, they're going to want to be paid to hold that secret. So he did the right thing. That's a smart decision. Who is going to hate you for you having sex with a man? Nobody's going to hate you. It's your life. It's the lifestyle, that the life choices that you made, that's your life. So I don't even know why people think that you have to hold a secret because people is going to look at you differently. Who cares? Those are things that you did in your life. At the time you did it, you enjoyed it. God bless you, bro. Move on. A lot of people don't get extorted because they don't want to come out and say honestly what happened in their life throughout the years that there was, you know, partying and doing whatever else they was doing. People are not willing to admit. They are not willing to admit the things that they're thinking other people is going to judge them based on. So for all these years, this man been holding the secret, and there have been people around him that knew about his gay lifestyle, and they was threatening him to basically give me money or we're going to expose you. So finally he's like, you know what, let me just expose myself. Who's going to hate you, dude? You should have been exposed yourself and move on with your life. Who cares?
Completely inspired the stuff about the you know, man. The men's sex. How do you say?
Man sex.
Men sex. Man sex.
Sex with men.
And sex. And so, yeah. But I had a hunch that it would come with a similar benefits package.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You really don't shy away from anything, do you?
Well, I got more days behind me than in front of me, and so if the rest of this thing is going to be authentic, then you know, why not now? Why not now? Have you ever won?
And we're going to end this interview right there with Mr. Charlie Sheen saying that he realized that he has more days behind him than in front of him. If you guys don't understand what that means, that he's 60 now, so he feels like the 60 years he's been alive has been great. He had a lot of fun, but he has no idea, and he doesn't think that God is going to give him another 60 years. So in reality, it's a fair statement. He has more days behind him than he has in front of him. And I think that's a fair statement for all of us. You know, for a lot of people, like, you know, like the way things are going these days, you know, like there's a lot of people right now that's in the 30s, you know, in the 20s, 30s, 40s, and they're like, the way that the lifestyle that they choose to go on with in life with It's, you know, it's type of lifestyle that could actually cut your time very short. You know, if right now the things that Charlie Sheen was doing 15, 20 years ago, people in 2025 that are in the 40s living that life, they're not going to make it to see 60 years old. Because and the reason I'm saying that is the chemicals that are in drugs in 2025, it's way worse than when Charlie Sheen was involved in drug abuse back in the 90s. Because in the 90s, you was not hearing about fentanyl. In 2025, fentanyl is being put in every type of drugs for people to take. Fentanyl is being put in everything. And people they don't understand why they're so addicted. They're getting addicted super fast because that's the cartels and the drug manufacturers. They're putting fentanyl in everything to get people hooked. So if you are in 2025 abusing any form of drugs, it's a possibility you don't make it to 60 because of what they're putting in the drugs right now. Back then, when Charlie Sheen was doing in the 90s, people wasn't using fentanyl to cut cocaine because that's what he was purchasing from the cartel. It's in his book. You guys could go purchase his book. Like, he claimed he was purchasing so many cocaine from cartels. But back then, the cartels was giving you 100% pure. Now, majority of drug manufacturer, the people that's manufacturing drugs, they're cutting a lot of these drugs with fentanyl. So now you're getting 50-50. It's not no more 100% pure nothing. And that's the reason why a lot of people are dying so young. That's why I said that from the beginning of this video. I said Charlie Sheen is God loves him. I don't believe in luck. I think everything that happens for a reason. You know, but for him to be here at 60 after all those years of abusing substance, alcohol, all of those type of crazy stuff, dude, and then getting infected with a deadly disease, it's a miracle this man is still alive. You know what I mean? It's a miracle, man, and God bless him. You know what I mean? God bless him, and I hope and wish him the best. Ladies and gentlemen, go out and support his book. You know, the book, read the book, and you could, if you really liked it, Charlie Sheen. I looked at him when I was younger. Like, I was way younger when he was like on TV and stuff like that. So I didn't really, you know, now like I look back and look at like his TV show and stuff like that. But, you know, I hope and wish him all the best, man, for real. And people out there, ladies and gentlemen, stay away from drugs. Stay away from the abuse of drugs. Stay away from the abuse of alcohol. And if you're right now addicted to any type of substance, man, there is a lot of help. You know, there's a lot of help all around. Like, if you're in the United States, there's a lot of help in every state. That, you know, there's a lot of different programs that's willing to help you, you know, overcome the addiction of drugs. There's a lot of programs out there that's willing to help you overcome the addiction of alcohol. You know what I mean? There's a lot of programs out there that is willing to help overcome the addiction of sex. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of resources all around the United States. So don't say, oh, I don't have help. You know, I'm trying to get off, but I don't listen. There is resources all around the United States. But the main thing is you have to be willing to get off. It doesn't matter who try to help. It doesn't matter what program that you might go into for a month, for 2 months, for 6 months. After those 6 months is over that you're in that program, guess what? You have to come back out to the real world. You have to come back out, and you're going to see people who you knew for years, and they're still addicted to the same dangerous and deadly drugs that you actually went away to get away from. You know, so it's a lot of time people who relapse is because they go back to the same environment. You know, I personally think that if you have a serious drug problem or alcohol problem and you go into a rehab, I honestly think it makes no sense if you're going to come back out to the same neighborhood, to the same community, because it's like a 95% chance you're going to go back into that lifestyle. Because it's just a matter of time once you get out of the drug program. Once you get out of the alcohol program, it's a matter of time before you see somebody in your neighborhood that you knew for a long time, that you guys was drinking together, you guys was doing drugs together. It's just a matter of time that you're going to bump into those people, those type of people. And guess what? Now you clean, but they're still getting high every day. They're still drinking every single day. And you have to see those people constantly because you're still in the same community. You know, so I'm a big fan of, if you really, really want to clean yourself up, I think you should go check yourself into a rehab in another state and do the best you can to start a new life in that state. But at the same time, there is drugs all around the world. No matter where you go, there is drugs everywhere. So the most important thing is you wanting to get clean in your brain. You have to clean your brain, clean your mind first. And then you could basically stop whatever you're doing. Because it's not on the surface. A lot of addictions is not on the surface. A lot of addiction is things that's inside of you. Your brain become addicted. You know, your mind become addicted to what you're doing. So you have to start to clean your brain, clean your mind away from all of those things. And once your brain is clean, once your mind is clean from all of those drug stuff and alcohol stuff, then you could hold yourself accountable and stay away from those type of things. And no matter who you will encounter, no matter who you will see, it will never take you back into that lifestyle, because your brain now, you made your brain to know, like, this stuff is bad. I don't never want to go back to these things. You have to help you. You have to help you. You know, God is there to help us all the time. God is always going to be watching over us and helping us, guide us through things that's difficult. But we have to put the first foot in front of each other. We have to make the move. God is going to be there to assist us. God is going to be there to help us and guide us and make sure we get through it. But we have to make the attempt every single day. God wants us to make the attempt. God wants to see us struggling to accomplish it. That's just how it is. Listen, dude, every single day I wake up, I thank God for giving me another day. And my intentions every single day is to become a better version of myself in every which way, shape, and form. You know, a lot of people just wake up and they don't say thanks to God first and foremost, but still, they just immediately start thinking about money. You know, money is good to have money, actually, but there is a lot of other things in this world that you have to be good at as well, that you have to take care of every single day. You know, my number one thing I tell people all the time, make sure you put your health as priority number one every single day. Every single day, put your health as priority number one. Think about every single day, yes, because guess what? Even if you have money, look at what with Charlie Sheen. This guy is paid. This guy has money that he could never spend. His father has money. His brother, they have money they will never be able to spend in this lifetime. But guess what? With the disease that he have, there is no money that could cure that disease. You understand what I'm trying to say? So if you don't make your health priority number one every single day, it could catch up to you sooner or later. Because a lot of people just wake up and immediately think about money, how they can make money. Yes, listen, every day I wake up, my health is priority number one. My health is first. And yes, I also want to become financially stable. Everybody does. You know, 100% everybody in this world want to become financially stable so they don't have to go work for nobody. They could, do everything on their own time. Everybody want to be independent. Everybody want to be, living at their own time. Everybody want to wake up and do as they please instead of doing what other people want them to do. So everybody want to be financially stable. That's 100%. But without good, proper health, even if you become financially stable, you're not going to enjoy that money. You're not going to enjoy that life. You're not going to enjoy that beautiful house you might buy. You're not going to enjoy that beautiful boat that you might buy to go fishing. You will not enjoy the nice car that you had in your dreams for years, and finally you could afford to buy that nice car. Like, so without proper health, it's a lot of things that don't matter what, if the money comes or not, you're not going to be able to really enjoy it. So always put your health first. Me personally, I get up, I thank God every day, man, and I make sure my health is number one. I work out, I eat good, you know what I mean? Like, I take care of my health, and yes, I go and do what I have to do towards becoming financially stable every single day. You guys could support my clothing brand, ambrose.com. Go check it out, man. Get yourself a hat, get yourself a t-shirt, unisex t-shirts. We have hoodies. The fall, actually, yeah, we're in the fall right now. Today's the 23rd. Yeah, so the fall season already started. So go get it. Go get yourself a hoodie. Guys, girls, hoodies. Appreciate it, man. But ladies and gentlemen, before I end this video, man, I always want to take the time out to show my respect and my gratitude to our Commander-in-Chief, our President of the United States, sir. As always, I salute to you and your family, sir. May God bless you and your family, sir. May God watch over you and your families on this beautiful, wonderful night and forever. All and every of God kids within the United States, may God bless us all. All and every of God kids all around the world, may God bless you guys all. Ladies and gentlemen, always treat people with the love, the kindness, the care, the respect, and the loyalty that you truly expect others to treat you with at all times. Always do what's right in the eyes of God and his family. Always make God and his family a part of decision making every single day, guys. Always treat people the way you want to be treated. Don't take advantage of people to accomplish your goals. Don't manipulate people to accomplish your goals. Don't lie to people to accomplish your goals. Don't do bad things to others to accomplish your goals, because eventually, I promise you, it's going to catch up to you and you're never going to be happy. When you do bad to others to get things that you want in this world, you're never going to be happy at the end of the day. So let's treat each other the way we want to be treated. Let's help each other. Let's help each other up. Instead of doing bad to accomplish your goals by doing bad to others for you to go up and them to go down, now let's build each other up. Let's work together to accomplish a good life together. Let's all do it together, dude. I don't know if you guys realize that if an entire community decide to work together, that community of 100 people, if a community of 100 people decide to work together, that community will be rich. That community will be very rich within 24 months, within 2 years. That community will be rich. And you can look it up. If you have 100 people that's willing to work together, meaning that they all have jobs and they all decide to take their paycheck weekly or whatever way they get paid, and they all decided to invest into real estate, buying lands, building houses, and renting it out. Do you know, if 100 people unite, everybody in that 100 people have the possibility to become very rich. But we don't do that as human beings. It's hard, especially for the black and brown communities. Working together is very complicated, and I don't know why. But you have to think about what I'm saying. That's the reason the Jewish people, that's what make them very, very wealthy. And people don't really look at that. But Jewish people stick together. They work together. They work 10, 15 of them. They'll go out, put all their money together and buy a building. Black and brown people don't do that. They don't unite like that. And that's what I'm trying to say, dude. If you have a community of people, build that community up. If you have people in your community that's willing to listen, bro, it doesn't matter if you think about it or not. Just make the investment. 20 of us, we hang out together all the time. We spend time together all the time. Listen, let's start from today. Every week you get paid. Let's take $150 out your paycheck, my paycheck, and let's invest it into something for the next 24 to 36 months. Let's put it into a bank account. Let's put it into an account that could grow the money. And then we take that money and invest it into this. People don't think like that because everybody want to do it on their own. But if we work together, dude, we all have a chance to become financially stable. We all do, bro. Me personally, bro, I don't mind. I never had a problem working with people. But I'm one of those people, I like working with people with morals. I don't just like working with people without morals, you have nothing. If you're somebody that's very easy to be bought out, you're nobody. If you're somebody that's a follower, I don't want to be around followers. I hate being around people that always want to follow other people. I don't like that. I like being around strong people. People with strong morals, and no matter what happened, they're willing to stick to their morals. I don't like people that is very easy to be bought off. Like, let me offer you this amount of money and I could buy you, I could basically buy you morals. I don't like that, dude. I'd rather be broke and be a bum than you think you could get me to do stuff that's not morally right. I will never, bro. Never. That's me, and I'm proud to say that, dude, and I'm very firm on those words. I will never take any type of money to go against my morals. That's how I like to be. I like to be around people such as that, with those strong morals. But try it out, you know what I mean? Especially people with huge families, and I've been seeing people do, like, the other day, like, I had one of my boys, he went to a party and he's like, yo, bro, the people that invited him, they're like 30 family members, brothers, sisters, mothers, aunts, uncles. I'm like, 30 family members that get along in 2025. Out of those 30 people, if everybody has a job and everybody put their money together, instead of them all living in separate different apartments, paying other people's mortgages and living in different places, these people don't understand. If you have a strong family bond of 30 people, 30 something people, you all could work together. Take that money, put it together, and everybody has a chance to become rich. Think about it, bro. Think about it. It's hard to get along with people, but if you do have that core support of people around you that you could, like, you're really getting along with, if you have a large group of people that you get along with, dude, I'm telling you, think about what I'm saying. Work together to accomplish the goal of becoming financially stable. Jewish people been doing it for decades, for centuries. The Jewish community been doing it forever. Jewish people, they all work together to accomplish a good life. Why can't black and brown people do it? Let's start thinking, bro. But anyway, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next one, man. To our great president, Mr. Donald J. Trump. So have a good night if you're in Washington, D.C., or you're in Florida, wherever you're at in the United States. Have a good night to you and your family, sir. So everybody else, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have a good night as well. Depends on where you're at depends on where you're at in the country. I'm in the Northeast. I'm in New York State, so it's night. So I'm going to say have a good night. Depends on where you're at. If it's the evening, have a good evening. The morning, have a good morning. Wherever you're at in the world, man. God bless you guys. Thank you guys very much for watching my live stream, and I appreciate it, man. I'll catch you guys in the next one, guys. Please stay safe, all right?